Well, today, while squirrel hunting, I was able to scrounge up a bunch of sap for the boot grease that I like to make, and now I have to render it all, which is usually a time-intensive process. And I found a lot. Yeah, I found a lot of sap. This is like 4 or 5 pounds worth of sap. There's lots of bark in it, obviously, but bark doesn't hardly weigh anything. It's just so clean and, well, it's not clean. It's very dirty, but it just smells so clean. And, love it. So I'm gonna get this on a pot. Man, look at this chunk. Big chunk of bark right there. I can go in the fire. So I'm gonna get some pot going. I don't think it'll all fit in here. I have a little layer of sap that's already in this one that's hardened that I filtered. But I think what I'll do is I'll put this on real low heat and start to get it rendered out again, thinned out. Some snow. And then I'll start feeding this in. And then as I'm feeding it in, I'll probably try to scoop out a bunch of the chunks of bark and whatnot so that it condenses down to where it'll fill this up. And I won't need to use my bigger pot. I have a nicer, bigger pot that I'd rather not get a bunch of sap in. So we're gonna go for that. I'll throw it on time lapse and we'll see how it does. What I'll do is I'll put that pot and that contraption on the hot plate, or actually I probably won't at first. I'll probably dump some in there, wait until some sap gets down through and see if it goes to that other filter. Yeah. Probably should do that first. I feel like I can still get this warm without it burning. The sap's thin, dude. It seeps through wood. So it's got to be able to seep through that cooking oil filter. I don't know. I could be getting ready to make a huge mess, which is probably what's going to happen. I could maybe thin this with some fat. Some of my bear fat, my bear tallow. I might raise that thing up, I might raise it up and scoop some of this off over it and see if it works. I don't know. Pretty warm. The issue is, if that filter is cold, then this is going to hit it and immediately cool off and not go through the filter. So I need that filter to be warm. If I pour a bunch, then it'll be warm enough like there's going to be enough mass there to keep it warm. It might get cold, it might immediately get cold and thicken up, but when I pour more on top of it, it should keep going. I doubt it. Hey, some got through. That's a good sign. Okay. 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 Okay.
For some reason, I did not do a very good job of showing exactly what I was doing here. So while I was rendering the sap, I made this contraption, and that top layer is a 1/4-inch screen, and the sap runs through that and runs down onto a layer of nylon fabric that's stretched between the 2 layers of a embroidery hoop, and that keeps it nice and tight so the sap can run through. And the sap runs through that, and it drops down onto a cooking oil filter that I have set up as the last filter. So it's really fine. This is like a 3-layer system, but unfortunately the outside temperature in my shop was like 40 degrees while I was trying to do this. So every time that sap got away from a heat source, it cooled off immediately, and it was a huge pain to keep it warm enough to go through all 3 layers. I did it, but it was a pain. And I have an idea for a contraption that I'm gonna make later where the whole thing's gonna be heated, and I should be able to put more or less a big, huge bucket of sap on top and heat it all up at one time and have it all run through. So I definitely think I'll be able to do better in the future after I make that.
So I got it off camera, but I poured I have one part of rendered sap in here, and then I did 1 part beeswax. Now I'm gonna do 1 part rendered bear fat, and then the last part's gonna be 1 part the needsfoot oil. Oh, this is frozen. Great. You want to play with markers?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. My my needsfoot oil is frozen, so I'm gonna let that warm up while I color with my kid. I got this thawed up a little bit and got my last part poured to this big pot right here, and I'm gonna let that warm up slowly and mix it all together, and then I'll bust out a bunch of tins to put it in. That's like probably 1.5 gallons, maybe 2 gallons of boot grease, and I don't think I have enough tins for that much, so this pot's probably gonna be left over with just having a bunch of boot grease in it for a while, but whatever. I might put some like smell good in here. Yeah, I think so. I've got some lavender essential oils. I got wet on the outside. Some lavender essential oils. I think I'm gonna put some in there and just see how it smells. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got bit by a crocodile. So I got all 4 parts of my boot grease poured into this big ass pot. Like I said, it's probably 1.5 gallons or 2 gallons of boot grease. Is gonna be unreal. I actually use it for a hand salve too. But anyway, I'm gonna keep this on pretty warm until it's all well melted. In here in a sec, I gotta go scoot the beeswax bars out of the way that I made so that I can make room for the tins, because I've got like 48 4-ounce tins and then a couple 2-ounce leftovers from last year. Oh, I was gonna put some of this in there. I got some lavender. Let's put it in there. I think it's frozen. Oh, I never used it? What? Oh yeah. just an oil, so it's not gonna be bad for boots or anything. It's just gonna make it all smell a little better. Oh wow, that is very something. You gotta use socks as gloves? Wow. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Boogie. I think I'm gonna use that last bit. It's pretty gross. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37, 4 ounces. Yeah, and 5 small ones. I'm gonna take her outside and we'll come back in and capsule these.
Got a 38 4-ounce things of my boot grease, 18 and a half bars of beeswax, 5 small things of boot grease. Heck yeah!